Roshan Villamoria with the NGO community. You stated that an important condition for understanding humankind is beginning to understand ourselves clearly. Do you see that in these rooms, within the next 40 years at the United Nations, that this understanding of humankind through understanding ourselves will become a part of global decision-making?
I couldn't answer that question because I don't belong to the organization. Ask the bosses.
My name is Harry Lerner, and I'm the UN representative for the World Citizens Assembly and co-chair of the Communications Coordination Committee for the UN. And I'd like to, for the record, state that Mr. Marcel Beau, who asked that very significant question before, is also a member of that group. And I trust that you and he will have a chance to talk a bit later, because many of his writings seem to be, highly related to your conclusions. But I would like to add another note, perhaps a note of greater encouragement in my question. You indicated that organizations may not provide the answer, and you also indicated that the history of humanity would incline you to pessimism about the future or salvation. And I think it depends upon the nature of the organizations and whether these are serving the interests of humanity and prepared to evolve as the UN and many other groups evolve and as humans evolve. For the record, let me just read a sentence from Dr. Lewis Thomas. You probably know him as a fellow author and the scientist, author, chancellor of the Memorial Sloan Kettering Center. He states, "We can build structures for human society never seen before, thoughts never thought before, music never heard before, provided we do not kill ourselves off, and provided we can connect ourselves by the affection and respect for which our genes are also coded. There is no end to what we might do on or off this planet." And the implication there, which I share, is that we have evolved because we have the capacity for love and cooperation, and that we are not doomed because we manifest hate and fear and greed and have succumbed in the past to iniquities like that. But by the very existence of the United Nations, we have an illustration of man's capacity for growth and shared goals. And I think that the present does contain the future, and we, by acting energetically in the present, can affect our future and our survival. Therefore, I ask, what is the answer to the question you raised about the when one achieves peace within oneself, how will it affect the rest of humanity, given the time limits?
What's the question, sir?
The question was, when one achieves peace within oneself, how will it affect the rest of humanity without organizational structures?
I explained that. Forgive me, sir. I explained it. To say, if I change, how will it affect mankind, the rest of the world? That's the question, isn't it, sir?
Yes.
Wait a minute, sir.
That is the question.
I think, if I may most respectfully point out, that's a wrong question. Change, and you will see what happens. Sir, this is really very important thing. We have evade all the side, put aside all the side issues. Please do realize something tremendous, that you are the rest of mankind psychologically. You are mankind. Whether you live in India or Russia, China or in America or Europe, you are the rest of mankind because you suffer and everyone on this earth suffers in his own way. We share that suffering. It's not my suffering. So when you ask a question, what difference will it make if I or you change? It's if I may most humbly point out, it's a wrong question. You are avoiding the central issue. And we never seem to face the central issue, the central challenge that demands that we live totally differently, not as Americans, Russians, Indians or Buddhists or Christians. I wonder if you have realized Christians have been responsible for killing human far more than any other religious group. Don't get angry, please. Then Islam, the Muslim world. Then the Hindus and the Buddhists come much later. So if the so-called Christians, the Catholics included, about 800 million people, if they said no more war, you'll have peace on this earth. But they won't say that. It's only Buddhism and Hinduism said don't kill. If you kill, they believe in reincarnation, you will pay in next life. Therefore don't kill the least little thing, except what you have to eat, vegetables and so on. But don't kill. We as Brahmins were brought up that way. Not to kill a fly. Not to kill animals for your food. But all that's gone. So please, we are suggesting that the central issue to stop wars, you must stop your own antagonisms, your own conflicts, your own misery and suffering.
We have a written question here for Mr. Krishnamurti. Do you believe in the so-called realized soul?
Do you believe in the so-called realized souls? I don't know what it means. Just a minute, sir.
Hello. My name is Rohit. Sir, you're talking right now from a public forum, and once this you're talking right now from a public forum, and once this lecture is over, probably you'll return to a privacy that probably you cherish greatly. So there is, for most human beings in this world, a division between public life and private life. Could you comment on this division? Do you feel it leads to conflict? Is it necessary?
Between public life and private life? Is that the question?
Yeah, and
why do you separate this? Why do we separate public life as though something outside and private life? If one lived correctly, precisely, not intellectually, but holistically, then there is no outward life and private life. Holistically, that is to live as a whole human being, not as a sectarian, not as an individual, not as a petty little minds, brains active in our self-interest. sorry if I'm emphatic.
Yes.